Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever found yourself drowning in a sea of data files, wondering how to make sense of it all? Well, you are in the right place because in today's video, we will learn how to join or how to aggregate multiple data files which have different extensions and how to aggregate them before doing further analysis. We will get a scenario in which we will have different extensions of file like .xlx, .csv, .json, and so on. So in today's video, we will learn how to aggregate them all and have one data file that have all the necessary information before we do any analysis. So let's get started. First, let's see why joining data is important. Think of your data files as pieces of puzzle. Each file holds a part of the story, but to see on a bigger picture, we need to put them all together. So when we aggregate and join multiple files, we create a unified dataset that provide a comprehensive view, allowing us to draw meaningful insights. There are different types of joins in Python in SQL. But we will see and we will learn about four types of basics join, and they are inner join, full join, left join, and right join. Each serves a specific purpose, and understanding when to use them is a key. Inner join returns only the common elements between two datasets, filtering out non-matching rows. On the other side, full join combines dataset and retains all rows, filling in missing values with none or null. Left join takes all rows from the left dataset and matching rows from the right dataset. And last, right join take all rows from the right dataset and matching all rows from the left dataset. So this is a basic information about all of these types. Now let's jump to the coding part and see how to aggregate different types of file in Python. Since we will be using Python, so we need to import pandas library because we will be importing data from different files. So let's first import pandas and then we will import data using read CSV, read XLX, and read JSON. Before we do that, in this exercise, we have got three different file formats: address.csv, employee information.xlx, which have different sheets as well, and employee role.json file. We need to aggregate them together and then pass it on to the data analyst, which will do the data analysis part. So first let's import .csv file using .read CSV function of pandas. We will pass our address.csv file in this and save it in a variable. And as soon as we run this, we get to know that there are 5 columns inside this file: name, country, city, street, and street number. Moving on to the next set, we have got information about some employees in .xlx extension. So to import that, we would use pandas function read Excel because that is used for reading Excel files. So as soon as we run it, we get to know that there are around 6 to 7 columns inside this file: employee ID, last name, first name, country, city, street, and street number. And also we have got different sheets inside this information.xls file. So we have to import the other sheet data as well. That sheet contains some emergency contacts of certain employees. So we have got 6 different columns, and we have got relation as well, but we don't have header inside this file. So we have to manually add some column names for these 6 columns so that it may. This part of the code is actually setting a column name for each of these columns which don't have any name. So we created a list and we passed our respective names which we want. For first we have wrote employee ID, then we have got last name, first name, contact, then contact number, and then relationship with the employee. So to change these indexes with some column names, we have to call dot columns of that data frame, which is df emergency contacts, and we will pass our columns list inside this. And as soon as we hit and run this cell, all our indexes are gone, and now we have got a more readable and understandable names of each of the columns. So now we have got 2 files and we successfully imported those file content. So now we are going to read a JSON file in our last step of aggregating data in pandas, and for that we have to call .readJSON function of pandas and pass it our file name and orient is equals to index. As soon as we run this cell, we get to know that there is an index column inside this data frame, and we have got 3 different columns. To make it more readable, we can rejoin and sorted the indexes using .reindex function and sort it based on the column. So as we run this cell, our columns are now sorted. We have got salary first, then team, and then the employee title, and we have got its respective in raw number, or you can say index number or employee ID. So now comes to the main part in which we are aggregating all these data files together, and then we will be in a good shape to do some analysis. So now comes the main part of this video in which we are joining different files, and before joining we need to find which column are the similar in different data frames. So we printed out address.head and context.head, and we got to know that employee ID is the most similar one, so we can join based on that. And this is how we will be able to join these 2 data frames using .merge function of pandas. So we have got df1, which is our address data frame, and then df2, which will be our second data frame, and in this case we have got context. So df1 dot merge df2, and then we have to define what type of join we need. So in this whole exercise, our important key thing is employee information. So employee addresses is the most important thing because it contains employee address and its related information. So we will use left join, and then we will pass the employee ID column inside the on parameter of dot merge function. So it will make sure that it will join using left join and then on the basis of employee ID. So let's print it out and see what's the result. It probably confusing you a little bit, so let's print it out separately. So here we go, we have got all the information of employees. We can also see that there are some things, so there are some column name which have the same things like the same column name, so we can remove it, but for now we were able to join these 2 data frames successfully. So for the next join, we will be joining this response, df employee response, with df employer rules, which have information related to salary, the title, and that the team they are working on. So for that we will use dot merge function, and then we will pass inside df2 our rule data frame. Then we will be passing inside how that we are going to use left join. And for the left on, like whenever we have got different columns name inside data frame, we need to define which column from the left data frame and which column from the right data frame. So we will be using left on parameter, and we will pass employee id in this, and then inside the right on, which is our roles data frame, we will pass the index. We are not passing the column name, but we are passing the index in this thing. So as soon as we run it, it will make sure that it had got all the salary, team, and title information extracted from the rules data frame. So now we will join employees data with office addresses so that we can extract office information about each employee. We will be joining df employees country column with the country column of office address data frame. So to do that, we will use dot merge function again, and then we will pass employees, and for the df2 we are now passing df office address data frame. We are again use left join, and inside the left on parameter we are passing employee country, and right on parameter we have country name, because in office address it's country, just country. So as soon as we run this cell, we see that employee Uzair doesn't have any office addresses information because it's not available inside the data frame of office addresses. So that's why it didn't mention anything related to this employee office address. But we have got the rest of the employees does have office information, so they are not null. Also you will see country y, country, city y, because we have got redundant columns inside this data frame. So we need to remove that and just have one column for city, one column of country, one column of name. So let's see how to do that. So in the data transformation part, we will be dropping employee first name and last name, because we already have first name, last name columns available inside this data frame, and we will be going to update some of the columns or renaming them using this dictionary method, and we will pass this dictionary inside dot rename function, and it will rename all our columns. Now let's first print the one of the employees to see which information still needs to remove. So now as you see that we have got some redundant information of about our offices or employee offices. So to remove this, we can just select the columns which we wanted and exclude the rest of the one and update data frame using it. So in this line of code, we are defining a list, and we are just mentioning all those columns which we wanted. And as soon as we print it out, it will print all necessary columns of this of each of the employees, and we can further do the analysis part and use this data set as a unified data set and go to the next step of analyzing and extracting some patterns from this dataset. So in today's video, you see how you can import multiple extensions and multiple files which have different formats and read it using pandas function, and then you see how to use dot merge function to aggregate all these data into one unified data set, so that you can move to the next step of analyzing and extracting some insights from this data set or any data set. That's it for today. If you have any queries, do let me know and don't forget to subscribe and support my channel. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.